OMG, the Game of Thrones Season 8 finale is finally here. Daenerys is gonna get the Iron Throne for sure. Are you fucking shitting me? Just give me a moment. Fuck this season. That writing fucking destroyed it. Screw Game of Thrones. I'm sure Emilia Clarke was commanding an extra paycheck after what they did to her character. Poor girl. Ugh. The agony. Bear with me. I need my dose of rant juice. Game of Thrones Season 8 is the 8th and final season of what once was one of the most awesome and beloved and cherished shows on TV in the 2010s, Game of Thrones. So Game of Thrones Season 8 tells the story of the two conflicts, the Great War against the Army of the Dead and the final conflict for the Iron Throne. And once you hear who receives the Iron Throne, you will no longer be a fan of Game of Thrones, period. It is that disgraceful. My change of heart on this show is abrupt, as I was once a Game of Thrones guru, being the fantasy geek that I am. It's fantasy with sex and nudity. It has mind-blowing battle sequences, especially for the scale of a TV show. For the most part, throughout the previous 7 seasons, it kept you on the edge of your freaking seats who will receive that Iron Throne, and it has the single strongest, most badass female character I have ever seen in television, Daenerys herself. I currently just have the box set for Season 1. I've yet to collect Seasons 2 to 7. But I ain't gonna be collecting the box set for Season fucking 8. Fuck no, because after sitting through the final 6 episodes of this show, here's my reaction. No joke, who agrees Season 8 as a whole fucking... No joke, who agrees Season 8 fucking sucks? This is the worst finale to a TV show I have ever seen in my entire life. Period. There is no finale to a TV show worse than this. It's worse than the season finale of Dexter. It's worse than the season finale of How I Met Your Mother. It's worse than the season finale of Revenge. And it's worse than the season 4 finale of Poldark. This finale is unfucking acceptable. I'm like... Because George R. Martin, the books have yet to be completed by him, but he granted them permission to do whatever the fuck they wanted with this final season. This is the one season of the 8 not to be based on his source material, and I'm sure he I'm sure he wished he never handed them that permission. You know, season 8 sucked epically when even the cast themselves were unsatisfied, especially Emilia Clarke. And I can't say I blame her, especially after what they did to Daenerys, which I will get to. That's the worst part. I'm making no apologies. Fuck this season. I have no fucking positives for it. I just want to get the DVD of this season and slice it in fucking pieces. It's literally the plague that destroyed Game of Thrones. It's as if the show got an infection and this just that killed off the show for fucking good. So let me get to my explosive negatives of why this season killed one of TV's landmark shows. And that's often the case with great shows. They begin awesome, but gradually go downhill as time passes. But never to this extent. You see, each episode of season 6, there's just 6. That goes to show that they couldn't give a flying fuck. They were just like, oh, this is the final season, let's rush it, let's get it the fuck over with. Let's not have a consistent 10 episodes like the majority of the seasons. Then this season, out of nowhere, makes Daenerys act totally out of character when she is going around and incinerating and slaughtering innocent civilians. What the actual fuck, Game of Thrones writers? The true Daenerys would never think of doing something like that. So, I mean, sure, Daenerys in the previous seasons, sure she did her share of killing back then, but they were... Sure, she did her share of killing back then, but she just took it out on the arseholes. She would never harm the innocent. No, this was just a forced excuse to convince get the Game of Thrones fandom to all of a sudden jump on the hate wagon for Daenerys, which I thankfully never stepped on because I am Team Daenerys for life. Daenerys, you are the queen of Game of Thrones, and I will never be convinced to betray her ever. They should realise that Daenerys is a character who has lost nearly everything. In the first season, when she was in that tribe, she lost her husband and her unborn son. So you can, she's such a damaged character, and she's suffered more than the other characters have in this show. And after all she's been through, the writers should have realised she's the one that deserves to come out on top and get that Iron Throne. The final episode, episode 6, was the worst. I am done. Rest in peace, Game of Thrones. I have disowned this show permanently, and I command that this 8th season be remade. Thankfully, Game of Thrones fans are commanding that this season is remade. I don't blame them. This show deserves a proper conclusion. It deserves something worthy, not this shit. So here's what happens in episode 6, because I can't think of anybody that could be satisfied with this shitty finale. Jon Snow kills off Daenerys, and guess who receives the Iron Throne instead? Bran Stark. I'm sorry. fuck you, season 8. Brandon Stark, that fucker has done nothing to deserve that's honour of being a king. I'm sorry, it should have been Daenerys on that Iron Throne. Who I know the writers think that subversing the fuck out of your expectations is a good thing. It isn't. It doesn't always work. It's as if the team behind Game of Thrones intended for us fandom to hate this finale. I'm done. I'm sorry. Excuse me while I go cool down. Insert rant juice. Oh, that's better. You killed off my favourite cat. You killed off my favourite character, Daenerys. How fucking dare you? You know what? I commanded to be a character in Game of Thrones so that I could put Jon fucking Snow behind bars for what he did to poor Daenerys, and I commanded to have Brian as Bran Stark, that's a moron who doesn't deserve the throne, removed from the throne, and also and I commanded to resurrect Daenerys and put her on the throne, that because once her character is written back to the kinder-hearted soul that she truly is, then Westeros will be at peace once again. This final season is how not to conclude a great show. It can go fucking jump off a cliff. Just to stick with the first season of Game of Thrones and command, like the others in the fandom, that this atrocity of a season be remade. I give Game of Thrones season 8 0 stars out of 5. Fuck this season. Man, I just felt like I needed an operation. This season was such a fucking disgrace. Well, I think you guys have had your fill of rants for now, so I will be taking a short break from ranting, and stay tuned for my following review, which will be for the 2014 Godzilla, before I review its sequel, Godzilla King of the Monsters. Well, I love you guys, thank you for watching, I hope you guys enjoyed this extreme rant, and what do you think of the Game of Thrones Season 8 finale? Are you on the positive or negative side? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow me on Twitter and on Instagram, and I'll see you all next time. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.